Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to discuss high performance liquid chromatography. In short, we call it HPLC. Okay. Now, high performance liquid chromatography is one of the most improved techniques over other conventional column chromatography techniques. See, uh, it's as I said, it is one of the improved techniques. Now, the a conventional column chromatography experiment takes a very long time. When you want to reduce this time of experiment, what we do is we increase the flow rate of effluent. When you increase the flow rate, what happens? We reduce the time, retention time of the solute inside the column. Okay, when we want to reduce the time of the experiment, we increase the flow rate, because of which the time the sample, the solute faces inside, spends inside the column also reduces. This not only reduces the time of the experiment but also reduces the efficiency of the column, because solute components undergo less number of equilibrations inside the column, that is, plate number is reduced. Okay, when you want to reduce the time, plate number is also reduced. Naturally, the resolution obtained, the separation obtained is inefficient. Now, to overcome this problem, if you use a long column, now if you reduce the time, you increase the flow rate. To reduce the time, you increase the flow rate, and that's why the number of plates or the solute undergoes less interaction with the column component. That is why what we do is we use a long column. When we use a long column, the diffusion effect increases. The diffusion effect increases and the peak that is to be obtained after graphical interpretation is broadened. Okay, so diffusion effect increase, peak is broadened. To increase the flow rate, the pressure also has to be increased, right? The conventional chromatographic supports used in the column can tolerate pressure only up to a particular limit. If you increase the pressure, higher pressure is not tolerated, the structure of the stationary phase inside the column is affected, thereby causing defective, you can say, resolution, causing anomalies in the flow rate. All these factors reduce the efficiency of the conventional techniques. Okay, if you increase the flow rate, then also we do not get a good resolution or separation. If you increase the length of the column, diffusion effect occur, peak broadening occur. If you increase the pressure, the column packing cannot withstand a high pressure. So to overcome all these anomalies, all these difficulties, okay, a new technique of chromatography was developed that was called as high performance liquid chromatography. Okay, so all these factors are efficiently resolved with the development of high performance liquid chromatography. Okay, now what is HPLC? HPLC, this method uses, as the name suggests, high pressure. So this method uses an extremely high pressure up to 8,000 pounds per square inch. Okay, 8,000 psi, right? The flow rate therefore is high, right? When the pressure is increased, naturally the flow rate will be high. So the flow rate therefore is high, and the experimental time is considerably reduced or shortened. So experiment requires less time, very short period of time is required to complete the experiment. The flow rate is very high, the pressure is also very high. There is no loss in the efficiency of the support medium filled in the column that are used, because much of the support particles used in HPLC are very small, more or less uniform in size, right? So the thing which comes to our mind is कि when we increase the pressure, when the pressure is so much, 8,000 pounds per square inch on the solid support, will the solid support particles be affected? No. In case of HPLC, the column fillings, the solid support filled inside the column is unaffected by high pressure, high flow rate. Why? Because the support particles are very, very small and more or less all uniform in size. The lateral diffusion inside the column is also less because of two factors. Why the lateral diffusion does not take place? Number one, the smaller particle size and the enormous pressure. the eluting solvent is flowing with enormous pressure and at a very high speed also. Okay, the small size particle enormous pressure reduces the time that a solute spends inside the column. Due to this, band broadening is also minimized. So diffusion effect does not take place. That means band broadening is not taking place, or it is minimized, right? HPLC is therefore a very very highly efficient and fast speed, and has fast speed of resolution. Okay, so the resolution with HPLC takes very fast. Okay, and it is one of the most efficient techniques. That this technique in HPLC, vanishingly small amount of sample, that means the amount of sample that is to be loaded onto the column is very very small, in pico or femtograms. Okay, picograms or femtograms. The technique is primarily suitable for analytical purposes, okay, for analysis purpose, but we can use it for preparative purposes also. This technique, HPLC, is particularly popular for separation of polar compounds like drugs, metabolites, which in general are poorly resolved by other techniques. Okay, those components like polar components like drugs, metabolites are very poorly resolved by other techniques, for which HPLC is the best method. The greatest advantage of HPLC is that it may employ, yes, it may employ the principle of adsorption, partition, ion exchange, exclusion, and affinity chromatography. Okay, with the principle, applying the principle of HPLC, we can perform, okay, or we can use the principles of adsorption, of affinity chromatography or ion exchange chromatography to carry out the separation of the components, right? This makes it an extremely versatile technique and explains its emergence as the most popular chromatographic technique. Okay, now none of the other techniques that we have discussed previously, that means like we have discussed gel filtration chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, so all these techniques which we have discussed previously are not so versatile. Okay, the one which is very versatile that we are discussing today is the high performance liquid chromatography. Okay, now let us compare it with other chromatographic techniques. Rather, we have compared it with column chromatography. Okay. Now, number characteristics. What are the characteristics of conventional chromatography and HPLC? We are discussing. We are, I can say, differentiating between conventional column chromatographic technique and HPLC. Number of plates per second. That means how much time the solute spends inside the column. If you increase the flow rate, the time is reduced. It is 0.02. Okay, and in HPLC it is 5. So the solute spends more time inside the column. Okay, the pressure in conventional chromatography is negligible. In case of HPLC, the pressure is up to 8,000 pounds per square inch. The flow rate in conventional is 5 to 50 millimeter per minute. In case of HPLC, the flow rate is very high, 600 millimeter per minute. Okay. The time of the experiment. Other methods, other conventional chromatography requires hours to days, and in case of HPLC, it is finished within less time, that is in minutes to hours. Equipment is very simple, column and accessories, whereas in case of HPLC, it is an integrated chromatograph is obtained. Integrated chromatographic, experimental setup is there. The purpose of a conventional chromatography is generally preparative. Okay, in HPLC we can use it for preparative technique, but HPLC is predominantly used for analysis, and sample is required in HPLC. Sample is required in just a picogram, nanogram, femtogram and all. Okay, we can analyze a nanogram to milligram of samples by HPLC. In case of conventional methods, milligram to kg samples can be analyzed. Okay, now this is the schematic diagram of instrumentation that is required for HPLC. So you can see we require a solvent reservoir. Okay, there is a solvent reservoir filled with solvent. There is a solvent microfilter. The solvent has to be degassed and filtered. So there is a microfilter inside the solvent reservoir through which the solvent is filtered. Then the solvent with the help of a high pressure pump, okay, under pressure, the solvent is allowed to come into the main column. Okay, before the main column, you can see there is a guard column, right? And there is a sample injection port. So most of the time, the eluting solvent comes to the sample injection port. The solvent itself carries the sample to the column. Before the column, there is a guard column. Okay. Now, once your sample comes in, sample is injected. Okay, it passes through the guard column filled with the stationary phase, and then it comes to the main separating column. Okay, and then after separation, there is a detector and recorder which detects your sample and gives you a recording or a graphical representation. Okay, so those are the you can say parts of a high performance liquid chromatography experimental setup. Solvent reservoir having a degasser and a solvent microfilter, high pressure pump, sample injection port, guard column, main column, then detector, main column may be more also, then a detector and a recorder. Okay, so the 6 major components needed to perform HPLC are a solvent reservoir to store the mobile phase, that is the solvent, a high pressure pump to push the mobile phase through the column. Okay, high pressure pump will push the mobile phase through the column. A device which will inject sample into the mobile phase, that is sample injection port. A column in which separation will take place. Sometimes we require one more column, that is guard column. A detector that is used in detecting the concentration of sample components as they come out of the column. A detector is used in detecting the concentration of the sample component as they come out of the column. And there is a potentiometric recorder which will produce a chromatogram which will give you a graphical representation. Okay. Now, one by one, we will discuss about the solvent reservoir, the pumps, the column, etc. in the next video.